Yo, let's go fam, my name's Tommy and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about the Bitcoin ecosystem and what I would do if I was just getting started buying ordinals and adding them to your portfolio. I have spent many hours researching, digging deep dives into the ordinal ecosystem. I'm going to try and compact it into a getting started guide in this video. So if you like this kind of content, then please like the button, and just like the color of my hat, it will turn grey. So if you're brand new to the Bitcoin ecosystem, then you will need to download a wallet, and I recommend the Xverse app or the Unisat wallet. I use both of them, to be honest, and I really like the Xverse one. So it will be just down here, exactly where your MetaMask is and everything, and then you click on it and it pops up exactly the same as your MetaMask. Here's your Bitcoin, here's your stacks if you hold it. But you've got to be careful when you're receiving. What you want to do is copy this address for Bitcoin, this address for ordinals and BRC20 tokens, and then this address for your stacks, NFTs, and the SIP10 tokens. So it's very important that you don't send Bitcoins to your ordinals address, because obviously it will get lost and stuck and they won't get the Bitcoin. That's like your Sedgwick account. It's very important, and Xverse makes it very simple for you. Unisat is also very good. But once you're in here, then you can come and look at your inscriptions. So these are the inscriptions that I have, 7. So I have a Bitmap, 3 Bitman, and an NAT token, and then 2 more Bitmaps. So I'm going to talk to you about these in more depth. And then I do have an NFT, which is my Tommy8.bitcoin domain name, which you can buy with stacks. I think you get, it's like 2 or 3 stacks and you get it for 5 years. So if you want to go and get that, that's that. And then there's my wallet, main wallet, with a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of stacks in it. Boom. Now what I would do is look into bitmaps, because bitmaps are so interesting to me. Look at the price. This is the NFT history of bitmaps in CoinGecko. They are an inscription on the Bitcoin blockchain, and the price was obviously better to be accumulating them down here, but recently it shot up. This is when it got my attention, and someone kept bringing it to me. Shout out to Brown French Frog. And then literally we had a pullback, and then this was the time when I was like, right, now it's a good time to accumulate after this leg up. But it's not because the price has gone up I want to accumulate. It's because of the possible future, like the endless possibilities that can happen with holding a bitmap. So if you want to buy them, the best place to go and buy them is in Magic Eden. You can connect your wallet. You can also use your Phantom wallet that supports Bitcoin as well, but you can just connect your Xverse or your Unisat, and then you have all these bitmaps in here, and literally you have all these search functions. So these are the floor ones. The floor is 0045, and literally you're just going to get a floor one. You can get one with many transactions like these ones. Compared to this one hasn't got that many transactions. So your bitmap number is 648440 if you wanted to buy this one, of course. And literally, like, you got to like pick which one you want, because imagine them to be like metaverse lands where you can build out your own whatever you want to build out. Well, this one has got a lot more blocks, which are parcels, compared to this one, because you can see them visually. And then you can go into Mscribe.io, which is a great website, and you can type in the block number here and it'll bring it up. So then you get all this data. So you got the value, how many transactions there was. So there was 2016 transactions. The value of it, nearly 1,300 Bitcoin was the price of all these transactions combined. And then there's all the weight, the version, the height, everything, literally all this data. So what is good is, imagine it to be like your block of land, like Sandbox land, for example. This is the 2D version of it. And then you can go into more of a 3D version. You see, they look like apartment blocks, the 3D, like imagine them as apartment blocks in a city. And then you can click on each individual parcel here, which is over here, parcels, and then you could inscribe, but obviously you must be the owner of this bitmap to inscribe this parcel. So each different transaction block on this you can inscribe. So the future can be like expanding, and what are you going to do with this in the metaverse? There's so many possibilities. There's so much that it can expand out to. And literally, if you didn't know like much about Bitcoin, so here is the mempool. So what happens is the mempool is the memory pool. So every 10 minutes, a block is mined in Bitcoin. So one new bitmap will be inscribed every 10 minutes, just like a block transaction. So this is the mempool. It gets filled up with all these transactions. And then what happens is it gets mined, and then that's it. It's onto the blockchain. It's inscribed. That's it. Immutable data is on the Bitcoin blockchain. And here it is. Look, you've got your bitmap forming in our very eyes through the mempool. So that's why it's a non-arbitrary sort of thing, because it's off and it's all onto the data of the Bitcoin blockchain. No one said, right, there's going to be a fixed supply of 21,000. This is it. It's all like happening and it's expanding. And it's really, really interesting to see it all happen like this on a website like this. You can come on this. I'll leave all the links in the description so you can come and do your own research into it. And Mscribe's good. Like, they also have this function. So this one was like, whoa, looks like Spider-Man's attacking you or something. But this one's like more 3D. So you can imagine twisting it and moving it so it's flat, and then you've got your buildings up. Like, the possibilities of it just blows my mind thinking about it, what can happen with it. And then also, that's why I have 3. And the 3 I have, I posted it about on Twitter. So if you want to come and follow me on Twitter, it's Tommy A. Sart. And my 3 bitmaps. So I have a low number at 21,970, a 1 transaction block. I have a community punk, and I have 3,700 transactions on that specific block. So let's have a look at them. This is what they look like. So that's the 1 transaction block. This is the community punk, because obviously visually it looks like a CryptoPunk, or it's got the outline of it. So I thought anything with a searchability function that you can search for, because there's 827,000 at the moment and they're increasing with a rate of 1 per every 10 minutes. You want to like narrow that search down. So community punks are the cheapest of the punks, but they've got that. For me, I just really wanted it, so I got that one. And then I got this one because it's got so many transactions on that particular block. Like we were just on about all these different parcels, that I've just spread my bets with those 3, because obviously like I haven't got like, I don't want to throw loads and loads and loads of money at it and go all in, but I wanted to get 3 different ones that I can hold on to, and I'm not looking to flip them straight away. I'm just going to see how this ecosystem expands, because I see a lot of potential in it. And literally, this is what I wrote on Twitter. So if you want to come and follow us on Twitter, great. If not, don't bother. Also, you might have noticed that one NAT token that I have, and I bought one of these. It's a NAT token is the first token minted out using digital matter theory, a new method of creating tokens with pattern recognition on Bitcoin. So NAT, non-arbitrary token, DMT, digital matter theory. They're the first of these tokens. That's why I bought one, and you can go and buy them in here in the Ordinals wallet if you want, literally, or Magic Eden. And you want to get like, well, it depends how much money you've got, but I just bought a 500 million one, because you're paying 00031 for each sat, and if it's 5 billion sats, it's going to cost more than if it's 1 billion sats or 500 million sats. So depending on what you want to get, like I just bought a really cheap one at 500 million because it was very affordable, and I didn't really want to spend like a lot of money, like 0.3 or whatever on a 10 billion one, and there is more rarer ones and stuff, but I just wanted to get one of them as to hold into my wallet, because I find them so interesting that you are buying all this data stored onto the blockchain, and the whole thing is just digital matter theory, a new era of digital substance. So what is digital matter theory? Basically, it proposes that it is possible to create a form of digital substance by leveraging the inherent patterns present in data. So the patterns are what makes the blockchain work, basically. Digital substance. And the digital substances may not have physical presence, but can be manipulated and interacted within a digital environment. So applying the digital matter theory to Bitcoin looks a bit like this. So here's your Bitcoin data, and then it branches out all like this, and that creates the pattern. So look at this, remember this, visualize this, and then go back into this. Look, so here's your Bitcoin in the middle, branching out, creating this pattern. So the logo is very clever because it's literally the pattern of this. Super big brain idea. And literally the history, here we go, Bitcoin. So you have 21 million Bitcoins can ever be mined or ever in existence. Ethereum, I think it's 210 million. And then all the other blockchains like Cardano, Solana and everything, they're all on this trajectory, which is arbitrary, which means that literally someone has said, right, there's only going to be 21 million, like Satoshi. Vitalik and his crew have been like, right, we've got 210 million. It's a fixed supply and it's been set out to be that. And then over time we had the Ordinals, the rare sats, the bitmaps, and then the digital matter theory framework, which is the DMT and the sats, were on a different trajectory, which is non-arbitrary, because it's not a fixed supply of just 21 million. It's literally going to be increasing, creating all these new patterns, all from the Bitcoin. Literally, like everything is that pattern recognition. Like Paotoshi, the pattern back in the day, from literally people saying this is how Satoshi was mining it. They've got the Paotoshi pattern. That is a bit different to this, but you can get Paotoshi bitmaps. That's one that I do have as well. That single block transaction one is a Paotoshi pattern. So here you can go in here and then pick it as true, and then the floor is 0.0075 and it's under 20,000 bitmap. So not bad actually. That's pretty good. Anyway, what I feel with bitmaps is that we did have this big leg up, and then obviously we had a sell-off. And now more people are accumulating them, more people that are getting involved in it, and it's going to have it's not going to be long. We might keep trading this way a little bit for a bit until something else new comes out for them, and then boom, we're going to have another big leg up. This is what I predict. And then obviously we'll have another sell-off, and then we'll be a higher high than this point. And then I can just see that it's only going to go one way, because there is a big supply, but the possibilities for them pretty much endless in my eyes, what I see. And I can see the metaverse being like a massive narrative that people are sleeping on. It's not a thing at the moment, but Apple Vision Pro is coming out, and literally like it's not going to take much for the metaverse to become a hot topic, trending again, and then that narrative is hot, and then these being the number one metaverse on Bitcoin, boom, just going to shoot up. That's the way I see it, and that's why I'm holding 3, and that's why I'm bringing this video and this content, because I believe in it. That's what I see. So then the other 3 inscriptions that I had were Bitman, and these ones are quite cheap. So they are at 0.00025. I was buying these at 0.0017 around a week, maybe a week ago. I'm not so sure. It wasn't that long, but it wasn't like ages ago, you know what I mean? So they have gone up a little bit, and I got 3 because I didn't know which ones to get again. So I got a small one, like a size, like a 215 with a 0 wealth. I got one like this. Then I got one with a really high wealth, like, I don't know, you got to search through them, with a lot of numbers and a high first number, like an 8,000, and a lot of numbers like 9 or 10 digits. So I got a wealthy one. And then I got a wisdom or wise one, where you can find a wisdom. So here, see, this one's got wisdom in the metadata, and then I got a wisdom one. So they're the 3 ones that I got. Again, like, you need to really like do your own research into them. I kind of just gambled on these. So basically your Bitman is all this block data, and what it will do is create you an avatar that you can use in the metaverse. So here they are, look, here's all the data, and then it forms into this. So this is from birth date. So that's the first one that was ever created. And that's the second one that's ever created. It looks exactly the same. And that's the third one. Again, they're all the same. So when you look at the species, it's like 0001. They probably will be changing the further you go down. But again, wisdom 1, weight, health, wealth, size, all that sort of stuff. Again, I just went for a wise, a wealthy one, and a small one. because why not? I don't know. They're not too expensive. They're still not too expensive. I just thought I'll get 3 of these because why not? And then lastly, like if you've got a lot of money and money is no object and you want a PFP, go into Magic Eden. Here's a top. So Node Monks is the #1 at the minute, like for transaction volume. But obviously the puppets are quite good, but I mean, look at the artwork, it's not so great. I really like the Bitcoin frogs. They are at a 0.18, so like it's a lot of money, maybe just under $8,000 to buy one. But they do look like a blue chip, and they could be around for a long time. Like, well, they will be around for a long time because they're inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain, so you can't erase them. That's it. All of these inscriptions are inscribed onto the Bitcoin blockchain and can't be erased now. I mean, will someone come out with an eraser and start erasing them? I don't know. But anyway, they look really cool. You could use it as your PFP. You will get a lot of clout for this on Twitter and socials and stuff, and then there's a great community behind it. Like, I don't have one. I wish I did. Like, I think that they were like a free mint. I was totally sleeping on it. Like, well, I was sleeping on inscriptions and all this for a while, but they came out as a free mint and they've gone up and they do look really blue chip, really blue chip, and I would love to get one. So that is everything that I'm going to pack into this video. It's took me like a couple of weeks researching to get like all this information, compact it, buy all those inscriptions, and literally now is the time for you to make it to the end. You've got to like the video, and if you like all this information and you like me enough to subscribe to my channel, that's absolutely amazing. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.